All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to your next lesson. So this lesson is incredibly important, and I mentioned it a little bit in the introduction, but we need to be sure that we are not injuring ourselves, especially if you are new to exercise or have not been doing it consistently. I want to go over a little bit some techniques and some steps that you can take to prevent injuries, because that's very important to me. Because here's what I see a lot of the time is I see women start something, they kind of go like, jump in with both feet, and then they end up injured and they end up sidelined for a long time because recovery can sometimes take a while. And then you're just feeling like, I can never, actually get this under my belt. I can never exercise consistently. Every time I start exercising, I hurt myself. And that's because we're not really thinking about how we can best prevent injuries. So preventing injuries during exercise is crucial, especially as our bodies are changing. And when we go through menopause, there's changes to our muscle strength, our joint stability, and our bone density. And so we need to be on high alert for injuries. I don't want to scare you. You can successfully create an exercise program that is going to help you feel your best and your strongest and your most energetic, while not causing injuries. So step one is to warm up properly. A good warm up prepares the body for exercise by gradually increasing your heart rate, loosening your joints, and increasing blood flow to muscles. So, a simple 5 or 10 minute walk, like brisk walking, cycling, sometimes dynamic stretches, which are like torso twists or arm circles, depending on what exercise you're doing, that can be enough. 5 minutes to start your warm up. So for me, that looks, or to start your exercise. So for me, because I walk every day, I don't start walking at a very brisk pace. I go a little bit slowly to warm my body up, for about 5 minutes, right? I just kind of start a little bit slower than I normally would go, and then I'm able to pick up speed, but that helps my body to warm up a little bit. So first step, warming up properly. Second step, focus on proper form and technique. So this is especially true when we get into strength training. Using proper form reduces the risk of strain and injury to muscles and joints. I would rather you only be able to perform maybe 5 of the particular exercise with good form than force yourself to do 15 and not do it in the proper form and end up injured, because poor technique leads to imbalances and overuse injuries. So when we're talking about strength training, that may be starting with lighter weights or body weight exercises, not picking up that dumbbell or that bar, or even adding like ankle weights or wrist weights, not adding any weights until you've got your technique and your form really, really dialed in. You can also please watch. I will post some instructional videos of correct technique, and please watch them so that you can learn how to do these exercises properly. Next step is progress gradually. So we want to gradually increase intensity, duration, or resistance. Okay. And when we do it gradually, that allows our body to adapt to the new demands without overloading it. So, say you're going to start walking and you have not been doing that consistently. I don't want you to go out for a 3 mile walk the first time you go do that up hills, right? And through the valleys. Like, you may want to start at 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever feels right to you. We want to challenge ourselves, but we don't want to push ourselves to injury. So adding small increments of time, or in the case of strength training, adding small increments of weights few times a week, right, can really, really be helpful. And you will get where you want to go faster by not being sidelined by injury as often. Incorporating rest and recovery is crucial. Your muscles need time to recover and repair after exercise. Overtraining without adequate rest leads to fatigue, decreased performance, and increased injury risk. And I will say that as we age, we need to be even more concerned about proper rest and recovery. Our bodies just cannot be pushed in the same way that they were when we were in our 20s and 30s. So I want to encourage you to include at least 1 to 2 days of rest per week. You can stretch on those days. You can do some light yoga or still like just go for like a gentle walk or something. That is totally appropriate. That's active recovery. But it's really, really important that we incorporate proper rest and recovery. And I want you to think about if you're not sleeping well, if you have not slept well overnight, sometimes it's okay to not force ourselves to work out the next day because our body has not properly recovered or rested overnight. So that's always a consideration. Next step, very important to strengthen our core and stabilizing muscles. A strong core and stabilizing muscles like the ones around your hips, knees, and shoulders help to maintain proper balance and proper alignment, reducing the risk of falls and injuries. So incorporating exercises like planks, bridges, and Pilates, including exercises that focus on stability, such as single leg stands and balance exercises, can really help us to retain our core muscles and keep us stable. So we will talk about that in the strength training section, how to include those exercises that are going to help us with balance and stability. Use appropriate equipment. So please don't ignore the shoes. Please don't ignore the shoes. If you are a walker like me, your shoes need to be replaced every 500 miles. So it's, pretty often, actually. We tend to kind of wear our sneakers until they're worn out, and that's not doing us any favors, especially as we age. So proper footwear, supportive clothing, necessary support and protection, appropriate exercise equipment. So wear well-fitting supportive shoes designed for whatever activity, running, walking, weightlifting. Use mats, gloves, or knee pads as needed for protection. It's really important. It's not dorky. I used to think it was when I was younger. It's not dorky to protect yourself and make sure that you have the proper equipment. So keep that in mind. Listen to your body. So just like we listen to our body with our hunger cues, right? Just like we had to learn how to listen to our body, I want you to be aware of your body's signals. Because when you are, it will help. You will be able to tune in to when you're pushing too hard and you might be causing an injury. Okay. There's like a balance there. Just like with hunger, there was kind of the middle road. Same thing with exercise. Recognizing signs of fatigue, pain, or discomfort allows you to adjust before your body is injured. So pay attention to any pain, any discomfort, any unusual fatigue, like I just am wiped out, that feeling. That is a red flag. And if you experience any pain, please stop the activity and assess whether you should continue, modify, or rest. And even though like you may be like, oh my gosh, I was on such a roll and like now I had this bad workout or this bad walk or, I just couldn't get through this workout. Listening to your body is the most important thing. And it doesn't mean because one workout wasn't great that the rest is going to be great, going to be ruined, right? Most of the time, it's if you allow your body to rest and recover appropriately, if you listen to your body, you'll be able to come back even stronger and really not miss much time at all. This should go without saying because we've already done the nutrition module, but stay hydrated and nourished. Proper hydration and nourishment are essential for muscle function and recovery. Dehydration can lead to cramps and muscle fatigue, increasing injury risk. So make sure you're drinking enough water. If you're working out when it's hot, if you're sweating a lot, you're going to need more water. Make sure you're giving your body enough calories. Make sure you've got a good balanced diet. You've got enough protein. You've got enough of those micronutrients. Like all following the formula is going to help you to actually work out well, right? Have good workouts and recover well. It's incredibly important to have the fuel that your body needs to do this increased activity. Another way to prevent injury is to include flexibility and mobility work. So flexibility and mobility exercises help maintain joint range of motion and muscle elasticity, which reduces the risk of strains and sprains. So static stretching after workouts or regular yoga or mobility sessions to improve your flexibility can actually make your workouts better and make you feel stronger. And as we age, we just get stiffer. We get less flexible, we get less mobile. And so we need to do more strategic thinking and exercises to maintain those abilities as we age. And then modify exercises as needed. And it may be a day-to-day thing. So adjusting exercises to accommodate your current fitness level, your joint health, or injury history. I have to really be thoughtful about my back, about my knees. That helps to prevent further injury. So if you have any questions, if there's any exercises that I go over and you're like, I don't know, like with my history, should I do that? Should I not do that? What's a good modification? Please ask me. And you may need to modify depending on the day. So you may feel like you can do a workout, but then you get into that workout and you're going to do this one exercise and you're just not feeling right. You may need to modify that, even if 2 days ago you were able to do it. And that's all right. That's normal. That is listening to your body. And regular check-ins of your own body is really important. So regularly assessing your progress and how your body feels can help identify when it's time to modify your exercise routine or seek some help. If you're like, I don't know what's going on, that is the time to reach out to me, and we can talk about it, because it is really important to think through how your body feels and what progress that you're making, and to make sure that you're not pushing through something that is that you shouldn't be pushing through, that it's something that you really need to be thinking about, maybe getting seen, getting looked at, making sure there's not an injury brewing, because the last thing that I want is for any of you to be injured, because recovery takes a long time. So if we put some of these prevention steps into place and really look at our exercise program through the lens of injury prevention versus just like, I'm going to go all out. I want you to feel strong, but it takes time to feel strong. And getting injured is going to make that time even longer. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you need any help with modifications, if you've got some specific health concerns, please discuss them with your physician before you start an exercise program, and talk to me about modifications, and we can work through that together. Okay. All right. Here's to your injury-free exercise program that you're going to build. See you in the next lesson.